Folks, it's a new program. Yep, it's an actually new program, and you're live here from Studio 5 Broadcasting House. Now, for the next fortnight, or in simple English, next 2 weeks, or in further next 14 days, every Monday to Friday, every working day from 10 o'clock to 12 noon, we're going to be having build up interest in our national team, despite all the ups and downs it's been through. Lately, more downs than ups. But that notwithstanding, we will be having and looking at objectively and passionately about what can be done to move us to the next level. And for today's maiden edition, we've got a blinder. We will be speaking with somebody from the side of the FA for the first, 40 minutes, looking ahead towards what is coming up, particularly Mali and obviously Kumasi, Central African Republic. Remember that we are playing World Cup Qualifiers on the 6th and the 10th of June. Then after that, we'll have a little panel discussion of two gentlemen that we believe know a thing or two about football. So without going through any hassle, we're going to go for a short break. When we come back, I'll introduce the first guest, in-depth knowledge on football and what pertains in this country, having been we're back driving our passion, as they say, for FIFA World Cup 2026. The gentleman who is in-house needs no introduction. I keep on saying he is a marketing guru. He knows it about it. He's now even almost completed his master's in PR. Fantastic guy, knows a lot about PR. But more importantly, I keep on saying he's an Accra. Speaks the English the way it should be spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the head of PR and strategy at the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Neil Armstrong. Accra, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Charlie, but we say make we no swear, but this one I swear say Charlie.
Which one?
Charlie, the tie then there.
Oh, the tie. We can only say it's by the grace of God.
But Charlie, no, thanks for coming on the program today.
Yes,
I won't waste too much of your time. So the situation has come up. You know, Ghanaians, we talk a lot. First and foremost, congrats on your new position. What does it entail you doing?
Oh, well, sorry, thanks for having me, Carl. It's a different cap or hat I wear. Been here on the set discussing so many other things around Ghana sports and Ghana football for that matter. Head of Public Relations and Strategy at the FA, like the name implies, is about augmenting the FA's efforts in engaging with the various publics. We have a communications department, yes, but there are other publics that the FA, through the Executive Council and our president, Simeon Okrako, felt that we needed to engage more strongly with, more coherently with, and more in a more involved manner with. And that's really where the idea of creating this or having this role come in, and also to support the work of the communications department. Remember that a time when we had a director of communications and one maybe person help supporting the effort, we didn't have the plethora of media houses that we have in the country. Today we have, in Accra alone, here there are about 400.
Yeah.
And the demands are so great and so huge on my brother Henry Asante. So the EXCO decided that and felt it was important to widen the scope of our coverage of the footprint of GFA's communications. So we have a senior manager communications. We actually have 3 senior managers in communications, all of whom are charged with also saying the story or telling the story of the FA at different points in time on different subjects as and when they arise. And these will augment the efforts also of Henry Chuma Asante. And I'm also there to head the unit and get us more strongly in tune with our public.
I saw your footprint when you had to come out with the second release as to what went on between the like and the matter. And I was saying, that's a damn, sorry to use the language, that's a damn bloody good thing. Okay, well, because it was Neil Armstrong. No,
well, it's a
limitation.
It's a team effort, I'd say, and everything we do is discussed with the Executive Council, especially when it has to do with the strategic nature. And so, whatever you see coming out of our outfit, you can be sure that there's been some input from overall leadership. There are times where they give us the latitude to go out with information that may not be of too highly a strategic nature, trusting in the judgment of the communications department. But where it is that there are very sensitive matters, everything gets passed through and cleared by the Executive Council. And whatever we saw in the Lion Kingston matter went through that process. my background, obviously, is in management, it's in process, it's in design, it's in structure, it's in systems. And so it's to bring that expertise and experience to support the work of the FA through my colleagues in the communications department and at the executive council level, and indeed at the entirety of the secretariat, is so that we all gel together and put forward a stronger corporate face of the Ghana Football Association.
Great stuff. Neil, let's get now straight to the point. Now, Thursday, they'll be Mali. I suspect they're probably leaving tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, yes.
Yeah. Then they come back, I suspect, on Friday, and then on Tuesday, they've got another match. That's a week today in Kumasi. But tell me, I know FIFA set the date for 6th and 10th, but couldn't we have done it a bit more friendly? When I say friendly to fans, rather than on a Tuesday. If we could have.
It's a Monday, actually, I think.
Monday, sorry.
They've got Thursday, today's the 3rd.
Thursday, the 6th.
So
yeah, it's a Monday. The 10th is a Monday.
So the 10th is a Monday, yes.
Couldn't we have made it on a Sunday, favorable to the fans, and then pushed the Thursday one to the Wednesday?
Well, I think it's a question that FIFA are best placed to answer. There's a schedule that is prepared. It's discussed at the levels where it's discussed in FIFA and with Confederation of African Football, because we fall under the Confederation of African Football. And once it is that there's agreement on those dates, we follow them. There have been times where we've played, say, on a Friday and then on a Tuesday. Yeah. The question is, what day is that most ideal? Typically, for us in Ghana, the weekends, and for many countries, the weekends work the best. But when it is that you have to play 2 games in a window of 5 days, one of those weekend sort of times may suffer. In our case, we would have preferred, say, a Sunday, and so we play on the Wednesday. But the calendar done by FIFA doesn't allow it. So we go with the calendar and do everything we can, knowing that we are a passionate nation about football. Driving our passion, I think, is a solid theme for this program. And I believe that the conversations that will be held here, both today and in the days ahead, will drive the passion of Ghanaians such that they mount the level of energy that we need and we appeal to them for, to support our Black Stars, to get us back into a position where we can be confident that USA, Mexico, Canada 2026 is definitely possible.
Wait, so what's happening now? The situation, they did their first training session on Friday, right?
Yeah, so they've had a couple of training sessions.
Okay.
And I mean, typical with the Black Stars camp, there is a schedule. So you've got your training sessions, you've got times where we make the team open to the fans, which was on day 1, made it open also to the media. Beyond that, then you close ranks to focus on the task ahead. And that essentially is what the team is doing as we speak.
Is everybody in?
It's everybody in.
All those invited?
Yes. Obviously, over the weekend, Frederick Asari was requested by Kumasi Asante Kotoko to play in the league game. So he was released, and I reckon that he should be either back. He should be on his way back by now.
Are they allowed to do that?
Well, it's a conversation between the FA, the handlers of the team, and the clubs. It's not the first time. It's not strange.
Yeah, I was a bit.
Yeah, it's not the first. It's happened several times in the past, and it's a partnership that we have with our clubs. And if it is that a club feels that they are going to be significantly pained by the absence of a particular key player, it only stands to reason that in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation that exists between the FA and its core public, which is its members, the subscribers to the FA's constitution, are the clubs and a few additional stakeholder groupings. We feel that it's good that we engage with them in these ways. And with that kind of arrangement, you would always be able to count on their support.
Am I right in saying that they've been training at Legon?
Yes, at the University of Ghana Stadium.
I really get upset about that one. I really do. I really do. You know
how
why,
so?
Neil. You know, because you know that is supposed to be my athletics arena. It's the athletics arena. Go do it at the Accra Stadium and leave my athletics arena to itself, because you're spoiling my, I was going to use the word Tatano. You're spoiling my Mundo, and all those people have been playing all manner of matches there.
Well, the arrangement is such that the condition of the tracks has been taken into consideration. You remember when we played the last Wafu Zone B Championships on day 1, there was a fury about where the players were jubilating and the manner in which they were jubilating, and the fact that this was going to affect the surface of the track. So that was taken into consideration, even in taking the decision to take the team to the University of Ghana Stadium. But in terms of surfaces and the level of preparedness of the surfaces that the Black Stars must train on ahead of the trip to Bamako in Accra, this was the surface that the handlers felt was best suited to their needs at this time. And
but am I right in saying that they're not going to be training there today? I'm saying this because nations have arrived for the, how do you call it? The ECOWAS Zone 3 track and field meet.
Yeah,
which,
the CAA meet.
Which acts as a qualifier for the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
I know that they will go to the training tracks, but ready to rock and roll, like flight arrangements tomorrow, set. No, as we speak, injury scarce. No club saying that I need A because he needs to go and negotiate something.
The team. I'd say the team is ready. They're traveling tomorrow, and we intend to go out there and go and restore the hope of Ghanaians in this Black Stars. Remember, for us at the FA, we've themed it very quietly, a fresh start with Otto Addo. Otto Addo has been with the team before. He went off, has come back, and if you watch the tone of his presentation at the presser, which more or less announces re-entry into the fray and announced that the team that he had selected, his perspective is more long-term than the short-term. We're talking approximately almost 3 years. And in 3 years is a pretty long-looking time, but it's the time going up to the next World Cup. And he's called for patience. And it's because the team, again, is still an evolving team. It's still a very young team. It was the youngest team at the 2022 Qatar World Cup. And with the inclusion of the new players, it still is one of the youngest teams in terms of average age. And so, as Ghanaians, the picture is we are rebuilding. Yes, we are starved for honors. We look to win ASAP. But at the same time, we need to temper that hunger and that desire with the fact that we have a team that is still being shaped. We believe that Otto Addo is well placed to shape them. He knows quite a number of them from the 2022 World Cup. A couple of new ones have been added. 2 of them were given debut. All these criteria, all these traits, I believe that they would expect and understand that this team is certainly a team that will make us proud with time.
Neil, there's one thing that bothers Ghanaians, and this was actually expressed openly by the coach of Dreams FC, Zito, in the sense that here's a situation where we picked up a national team, and then there is not a single locally based player apart from one goalkeeper somewhere.
Yeah.
And Zito raised it up and said, what is happening? A team that has gone to the semis, when all other teams fell by the wayside of the Confed Cup. A team like Samatex, who are league champions. I mean, couldn't there have been 1 or 2 people? I'm not saying you
well,
decide,
I believe the coach is the best place to answer that question. He, together with his technical team, looked at all the players that were potentially available to Ghana for these 2 matches. And in the context of what they seek to achieve, with the knowledge they had about both the local players and the players that are based abroad, they felt that this was the squad that could do the job for us in Mali on Thursday and in Kumasi next week, Monday. He also said that the field is open to every player who qualifies, to every player who meets the certain level of criteria that they as a technical team would have put together. So, and I take a lead from what he said, that he prefers to speak about players that he invited rather than players that he did not invite, because that is where his focus is as a trainer. Yes, he will look at those that he didn't invite this time around beyond this game, but the focus is clear. Those he selected are those that he selected. Abdul Karim Zito made a call. It is his call he made. It is his opinion he made. It's the opinion shared by quite a number of Ghanaians. For others, they might say whoever the coach has selected, it's the coach's head is the one that's on the line. If he goes out there and talks a result, he talks the result. And it's not to select players for selecting sake. I'm not saying that's what Abdul Karim Zito is saying. I'm just saying that the coach is putting a team together. He has a picture in mind of what he wants to do. He has a shape of the team that he's building, and he says that these are the players I'm going to use. Opinions like our senior brother, celebrated writer Kwabena Yeboah will say are like noses. We all have them, all right? But that is why he, as head coach Otto Addo, has his opinions and his views on how this should be done together as a technical team. Abdul Karim Zito and others also have their opinions. At the end of the day, for me, it's the results that matter. It is what we see, is the output that matters. And going forward, I'm sure because he's longer in country now, he will have the opportunity to engage with our local coaches and have the conversations like the one that Abdul Karim Zito has raised. And together, as a body corporate of coaches, they would get the best for Ghana. I believe that it's a work in progress.
It's interesting, folks. This is called driving our passion here. And in case you straighten, it's not the file again. for the next 14 days, or should I say for the next 2 weeks or fortnight or whatever time you want to use. That's what we'll be doing instead of the file, building up towards first the match on Thursday against Mali in Bamako, and then the match on Monday against the Central African Republic in Kumasi, and then we'll continue till the fight. So Monday to Friday, 10 to 12, GTV Sports Plus and GTV, the station of the nation, driving our passion for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Obviously, whether Ghana's there or not, whether Ghana is whatever it is, all the matches will be shown here. The guest is the head of PR and strategy at the Ghana Football Association. He needs no introduction. He's also a marketing consultant. He's been a former executive chairman of Accra Hearts.
I beg you, managing director, I beg you. Executive chairman is Togbi Akwede the 14th. So managing director, he's the executive chairman. It is his title. Okay. MD. Sorry for busting
accountable. No, you see, all I'm trying to stress on folks is that he's been in the business before. He knows how to run a club. And so he knows what he's talking about. So if he's moved it from that place to the media, now moved from the media, and I even forgot about that one too. Former general manager, Joy FM. And then move it from that to the head of PR and strategy at the DFA. He said he has an idea about what he's talking about. Now, listen, no disrespect whatsoever. You've qualified for World Cup. What's the relevance about qualifying for 2020? If at the end of the day, quote, you're not going to go like the way we did for 2010 or 2006, because 2014, disaster. 2022, disaster.
You know, some have characterized, I'll take it from 2022 as a disaster. I don't think it was a disaster, respectfully. As a Ghanaian, I would have wished that we go beyond the first round. But to characterize it as a disaster, I respectfully beg to disagree. And the reason why I beg to disagree is, if you look at the trajectory of our performances at the World Cup from 2006, let's forget about the times that we were not even qualifying. So in 2005, we qualified to the World Cup. 2006, went to the round of 16. The squad that qualified us to that World Cup and then went on to round of 16 in 2006 were largely kept together, and a couple of additions may be made. And in 2010, we went to the zenith of our performance at the World Cup. After 2010, the team started seeming to have a dip, and beyond having a dip, 2014, we knew all the attendant issues that went on around the team, leading to the setting up of the Jamahwe Commission. I mean, it took a commission to be set up to delve into why what happened in Brazil happened in Brazil. You had a Brazil situation where we flew $3 million United States dollars, right, to a World Cup. The kind of environment around that team was an environment that, in my respectful view, didn't make for the kind of performance that I think the team had the potential to perform. 2018, we didn't qualify. So if you're looking at trajectories, 2006, let's say we're here, 2010 to the top, 2014, we dipped, 2018, we even dipped further down because now you didn't even qualify. 2022, against all odds, we qualify. Against all odds, and I need to stress that fact. It was against all odds. We were facing a Nigeria team, star-studded Nigerian team, with players that didn't have the kind of gravitas that the Nigerian squad had. There's a sitting MP in this country who actually came, I don't know whether it was jocularly or in some form of parlance, saying that we should actually cede the game to Nigeria. We did not cede the game. We appointed Otto Addo and said, come qualify us to the World Cup. And against all odds, he qualified us to that World Cup. So that was what? An uptick from 2018. It was a further uptick from 2014 because in 2014, because of all the attendant issues that went on there, we didn't win any game. In 2022, did we win a game? Yes. Against the South Korea team that some people seek to denigrate, but no, they've got quality in that team. All right, if for nothing at all, they were led by Son Heung-min. We know his quality, and all the other players who play in the Scottish League, even in the English League. So for me, and that's the reason why I say I do not classify 2022 as a disaster at all. We in many people's minds, we were not supposed to qualify. We were not even meant to be there. Now we get there, win a game, lose against Portugal with all their pedigree, with all the experience, with all the Bruno Fernandes, with all the Cristiano Ronaldo, with all the Jose Sars. We lose 0-2 to them. Lost against Uruguay. For me, very painful.
No, 3-2.
3-2, yes.
3-2. It wasn't 0-2.
Against
Portugal was 3-2.
But we beat Uruguay. We lost 2-0. We lost 0-2. So we lost to Uruguay, who again are seasoned campaigners any day. Similar Uruguay team that we lost to 2010. Maybe fast forward several years, but it still talks about the quality of opponents we had in that tournament. And it's not to say we didn't have players that could have, but again, these were very young players who are now would they be brought together under a new coach who was supposed to be a stand-in. I can't see how we can describe that as a disaster. And it's my very respectful opinion that we should put that performance in context. And the hope now of Ghanaians is after the first 2 games of this qualifying series, where we won 1 and lost to Comoros, and nobody can be happy about that loss, is Otto Addo comes in, gets a handle on where the team is in terms of its ethos, in terms of the energy levels of the players, in terms of the psyche of the players. And having gotten that, he puts together a unit that goes to Mali and gives us the hope that we all seek for, and comes back to Kumasi against Central African Republic and even shoots the energy levels of Ghanaians up with performances that give us the hope that this team can still take us to USA, Canada, and Mexico in 2026.
Truth be told, Neil, from you've argued passionately in a specific direction, which I can understand. But what happens? Can we classify it as a disaster if, God forbid, we fail to qualify?
I don't even want to think about it. Nobody at the FA wants to contemplate it. Otto Addo will not contemplate it. Ghanaians will not want to contemplate it. And for us, therefore, we seek and look at how do we get it to happen, rather than, God forbid, it doesn't happen. We don't want to get into that balance now at all. It's 2 games into the qualifiers. There are several more games ahead. We believe that there's enough space within the qualifying series for us to turn the, let's say, start beginning around and get Ghanaians back on side with the Black Stars.
It's interesting, Neil. I had to ask Neil that question because our camera crew went out and went and tried to get 1 or 2 views from 1 or 2 of the public. And with a specific question in mind that it won't be a disaster, or sorry, will it be feeling like a Ghanaian? It won't. Will it be a disaster? I must ask it in the right way. Will it be a disaster if we fail to qualify? This is what one of them had to say.
We want to unite Ghana. I want to go to US. I want to go to Canada to go and watch. I beg them.
We go to Mexico.
I go go. We dey make them qualify. The only thing is I want to go and watch them because I'm started contribute 5 CD. 5 CD up to that time. I'll get a lot of money. At least when I join this city, I'll go to and watch them. Just they should qualify for us. I want to go and watch Canada, the US, and Mexico. I want to go to that place.
So when you go, you come back.
Oh, I'll come back. Why not? I want to watch. It's my country. I want to support them. So I want to go and go and support them. Yeah. Don't laugh. I'm serious. Because we want to go and support them in Canada. I mean it, and I mean the job. I've started.
But the thing we say, you mean the matches in Canada and US. But what I'm saying is, what if all our matches are in Mexico?
Oh, by God's grace, our match will be in Canada and US. Because they know Ghana to be a peaceful country. We don't do anything bad. So definitely FIFA give us US. Oh no.
We are all out here to love them. So they should do their best for us.
And so, the day you did not make it into the squad, do you think is going to cause any form of what do you think that is happening?
Very, very happy about not waiting for that response there. But Neil, you and I, we are laughing for a reason because the party man is not thinking about, as far as I'm concerned, about the footballing aspect. He's looking at the other way. That's why Coach asked, are you sure you will come? And if all the matches were in Mexico, what do you go say?
You see, of course, I think she actually did a very good job of probing further. The guy who was speaking to his energy level for the matches in the USA and Canada bespeaks what a lot of people have jocularly described as the qualification series to USA, Canada, and Mexico. There are some friends of mine who have said, look, Neil, this is not a football project. It is a national project. And when you ask them what's a national project, they say, Neil, you have no idea. But America, especially the USA, have sold themselves as a land that is in the words
of milk and honey.
Words of milk and honey. And many of their leaders, when they speak in public presentations, say the greatest nation on earth. You've got Ghanaians, and I'm not saying they are, I'm saying what they say they are. Yeah. You've got Ghanaians who live there, who've been there, Ghanaians who started from certain levels in Ghana and went there, and we've seen what they've been able to achieve. So the whole idea of the USA and Canada, to some extent, is people believe it's an opportunity to go and see this nation that people talk so much about, this nation that has made so many advances in technology. They want to go and see that. Whatever else the motivation beyond that is, it is left for them to speak for themselves. All right. I want us to be in the USA and in Canada and in Mexico because I believe that the talent that we have deserves to be at every World Cup. For me, that is my focus. For others, it's an opportunity to go there and enjoy their football. For others, it's an opportunity to go there, enjoy their football, and do plus. This is their. Don't ask me what plus. I know plus. It is their choice. At the end of the day, I believe that this just points to the power of football. That on the back of football, people can believe that destinies can be changed, and it has changed several destinies. That on the back of football, the energy level of a nation can rise again in a positive way. We owe it as those running the game from the association level. We owe it as footballers to give Ghanaians the joy and the energy that we see manifest in the response given by the gentleman in the interview with Akosua.
It's interesting, folks. The truth of the matter is we can't run away from facts. When Ghana went to Brazil for the World Cup, people got lost, in quotes. When Ghana went to Rio for the Olympic Games, people got lost, in quotes. When Ghana went, people do get lost all the time. And that's why probably the guy is focusing on Canada and the US. It's a case of getting lost. You can define it whichever term you want to define it. But since I have Neil here, I'm going to ask him for his final words. Neil, please just speak to the public out there. Tell them what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and then we will end this.
Well, thanks, Carl. So it's to everyone who's watched us this morning, is to say that we feel the pain and the passion of Ghanaians. And just like every other Ghanaian, we desire the best for our Black Stars and indeed for the rest of our football. There's so many interventions being made by the Football Association at our junior team levels, as evidenced by the victories by our under-20 team, the Black Starlights, and also the Black Princesses at the recently held Africa Games. U17 and the Laie Kingston show so much promise. There's still a lot of promise in our football. We just appeal to everyone. We need the support of Ghanaians. We are looking forward to that support to manifest in all the ways that football fans, because remember, a lot of us were football fans before we became administrators. We remain football fans. Let that energy come back. Yes, results bespeak them, but also the signals that you get from our players and from we, the administrators, will play a very big role in that case. And that's the reason why I'd like to thank GTV for giving us this time and this space to speak to you directly. The Black Stars need your support. The Black Stars need your vim. The Black Stars need your prayers, and we believe that, inshallah, like my senior man, Alhaji Gusa, will say, they will make us smile once again. Let's look forward to a very, very, very competitive game put forward by our stars in Mali, and very importantly, in Kumasi next Monday. Let's come in our droves and numbers and give them the needed support that the 12th man and the 12th man alone can give to the Black Stars of Ghana. Ghana football, we believe, is on the rise again.
I'll tell you one thing, Neil. Thanks very much for coming. Apart from that, I've always had this funny, sneaky feeling that we're going to win. Shockingly, in Bamako, and then in regardless of the scoreline, I've just had this crazy feeling that's going to happen.
Yeah. May your feeling be turned into prayer and reality.
Amen.
In reality.
Amen, bro. Amen. That's the head of PR and strategy at the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Neil Armstrong Motorway. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for doing this with us. And remember, it's always available for you. Anytime you need whatever you do, just give us a call. You'll be on. Folks, we are going for a short break. When we come back, Neil will go. He's got more important things to do. I'm sorry to use the word.
I have additional things to do. But being here was very important. Very important.
Okay, Brofo. He had equally important things to do. So he'll take leave of us. But Gerald Mochri and Kwame Juma Ajman will be here. Remember, Kwame is the host of the Monday edition of The File. This time, Kwame is on the other seat. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.